Hello students, welcome to week 9. I want to send out a real quick video announcement just to make sure we're all on the same page. Now, we've been working on understanding and developing a PBL web quest, a project or problem-based learning experience for your students that will take place entirely online. This means that back in week 7, you've started a Google document. In week 7, we worked with defining what is a web quest, what is a PBL, and I asked you if you had experiences with them, what are the promises, what are the drawbacks, and I asked you to start thinking about what you might do with your own students in constructing your own. Last week, week 8, we looked into asking that compelling question. I wanted you to dive into the standards. You have to make sure you've identified grade level and content area standards, including the ISTE standards, that you're going to address and align your project with. This allows us to say the learning comes first, the technology comes second. We're focused on what is that content, what are those concepts, what are those skills, and then how are we going to engage those in an online environment using that web quest scaffold. That all goes on your Google document that you shared with me in week 7. So week 7 and 8, you're updating that Google document, and now week 9, you're going to examine the process of inquiry. You're going to use the Big 6 or the Super 3 as the inquiry process within the web quest. And I ask you to explore and describe and explain how you think that's going to look on your Google document. As you're building your web quest, as you're thinking about how you want to engage your students, think back to all of the tools we've used, all of the digital tools that we've utilized in this class. We've utilized Padlet and Prezi. You investigated your own selections in the tools project. Go into the discussion board and look at what your peers have looked at. I'll share a website of previous courses that have done the tools project as well to think about and find all of the digital tools that make sense for your content area in your PBL web quest. It has to make sense inside of that in order to then allow the students to communicate, collaborate, critically think, and create. Additionally, this week, you're going to analyze. You're actually going to assess an existing web quest that's about the Federalist Papers. And you're going to apply a rubric to an existing web quest. And what this will help you do is develop an understanding of, all right, so that worked well, that didn't work well. It helps you in constructing your own, to identify those pitfalls and to catch before you get too deep into the process. This week and next, we're really diving into the planning process. So make sure that you've looked over the assignment guide. There are very specific pieces that are needed in that planning document and the reflection document. So there are going to be some questions to answer, of course, but also very specific pieces for that assignment guide for the PBL web quest. And lastly, if there's any missing assignments or if you have anything that you have yet to turn into me, please do. The course is not about it's not all or nothing. I remind you that my focus on grading is developmental, and as long as you answer the questions that I'm asking, you can have those points back. Anything that you haven't done up until this point, you can go back and continue to do. So take a look, make sure if I had questions about your tools project or the first project, the communication of the digital learning environment, you can still go back and complete those. Let's finish strong. We have a couple more weeks left in the semester. I'm here if you'd like to set up a Google Meet or Google Chat, Zoom, Hangout, WebEx, whatever, or a phone call. I'm happy to do that if you need a little more explanation or a little more detail with anything. Just email me and we'll set up a time. Thanks everybody. Have a great week.